Good morning, you beautiful people. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. I want to tackle the topic of sound whoring. Apparently lately I've been really wanting you guys to get your pitchforks out and really get the best use out of them you can, because I love sound whoring. I love footsteps. I love the dynamic. I think it is great. I think it's an integral part of Call of Duty, and the fact that they have spit in our face with the mute exo ability in Advanced Warfare is disgusting, and just one more thing that I despise about Advanced Warfare. And there is really one big thing about sound whoring that people dislike. Well, maybe two things. Number one thing is that people claim that it increases camping, which is a bunch of hooey. The Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty 4, World at War all had sound whoring. At least I think World at War, I'm pretty sure it did. All had footsteps that were audible and usable, and there was camping in those games, yes, but it wasn't solely because of sound whoring. Correlating sound whoring and camping is absolutely ridiculous. You can correlate a lot of things with camping. The time to kill, the fact that this gun is better. The BAL is a laser beam, yet people run around with it and they don't camp, whereas I think if they were to camp, if they were to sit in a corner, they would have tons of more success in Call of Duty with the BAL. And there is no correlation, significant correlation or causation or whatever of sound whoring and camping. I can see the argument, you don't move around and you hear somebody coming. However, you don't move around, you see somebody on the minimap, it's the same thing. Camping is going to remain pivotal in a first-person shooter no matter what you do. However, the big significant reason for us not to have footsteps in the game, the only argument that is valid in this discussion personally, is the fact that it requires a necessary perk to get rid of. Now, this is a catch-22, because if you have footsteps on, you are constantly being aware by other people, by headphone users, and that is the reason why dead silence was necessary in Call of Duty Ghosts. If you wanted to rush around, if you wanted to be successful and flank, you needed to have dead silence on, which is a very unfortunate dynamic to the sound whoring deal. However, I believe I have a really good solution for this. A very simple solution, a solution that if Sledgehammer is genuine, if they have integrity, they should implement this. I don't want dead silence in the game. I want Exo Mute to remain in the game. However, I want them to get rid of Danger Close in favor of Amplify. Now, not Amplify as we know it from, Sitrep Pro from Modern Warfare 3 or Amplify from Call of Duty Ghosts. I believe all we need in this game is something to counteract friendly footsteps, which Amplify does. It quiets your friendly footsteps, as well as increases the sound of your enemy footsteps. However, in Advanced Warfare, instead of increasing the sound of enemy footsteps, it's actually just giving them a sound, because the only time you hear enemy footsteps is when they're 2 feet from you, and that's usually if they're behind you, which in that case they've killed you already. This is good because it doesn't require people to have a necessary perk. If you are bare bones, you can't sound whore fine, but if you are somebody like me and you have headphones and you want to sound whore, then that's at your own cost. That's your decision to make. And at that same time, you still have mute. You still have the dead silence functionality in there, so people cannot complain about there not being a balance to it, because it costs the person who has it on, and there is an effective counter for that, so that when you are flanking around and you think that you are being sound whored, you just do that. Dead silence in this game, you could probably add on a couple more seconds. Mute is one of those exo abilities that last for a long time, which is fantastic. I wish it lasted for a little bit longer, but you can tweak that. I wish some of the stuff lasted a little bit longer, maybe shorter here and there, but I think a perk that made the footsteps audible like they were in Ghosts just flat out ghosts, no amplifying ghosts, just regular ghosts. If you have Dead Silence on, you can hear footsteps. That is what I want in this game. I feel like that would be perfect, especially the 200-pound man with the exoskeleton on that's metal, that's clunky, that's bursting them into the air. Like, that's so much force. I should be able to hear that. I should be able to hear the of their footsteps on the ground as they land behind me. I've never ever heard that in this game, and it pisses me off. It's a terrible dynamic. It's broken, it's stupid, and it shouldn't be that way. So I feel a perk allowing me to hear footsteps as easily as just straight up vanilla footsteps and ghosts minus my teammates, I feel like that would be perfectly balanced. I think it would be just fine. And it would get me to play the game more. You know, I don't play this game, of course, for the bad weapons, bad maps, bad kill streaks, and whatever, but the fact that I run and I spawn in and I can't hear somebody 5 feet to my right, it's unrealistic. It's not what Call of Duty has always been. And some people are going to argue, don't rely on sound whoring. You know, a good Call of Duty player doesn't have to rely on sound whoring, which is valid. You know, that's perfectly fine. I can do well without sound whoring, but you know what? I can do well without my minimap, but I can't do as well without my minimap. Do you see the difference? I can do just fine. I can get a 3 KD in Black Ops 2 in Advanced Warfare. Well, not so much Advanced Warfare because it's a terrible game, but I can do well without sound whoring. I cannot do as well without sound whoring. And if I want to spend my perk points on that, that's my decision to make. So what if I told you, hey, you know what, this minimap thing is kind of a bother. You know, you really rely, that the minimap is a crutch for you. You rely on those red dots to go run over there and go kill them. So let's just take that away because that's kind of a crutch. You know what else is a crutch? Your bullets, your BAL. So let's take that away. A good Call of Duty player can flank and get up close to the enemies and stab them, only use me blade style. So let's just take away your gun. Let's just take away, you know what, let's just take away your perks. I feel like you rely on toughness and blast suppressor too much. You know, I feel like you rely on low profile to keep you off the minimap. A good Call of Duty player doesn't even let the enemy get kill streaks like that. You see what I mean? Like, there is a lot of argument, and if you use that logic of, hey, well, you should be able to do well without this, is completely null and void because that's everything we use in Call of Duty. Taking away my footsteps is like putting me into hardcore mode and saying you should not have to rely on your minimap. It's like, okay, but I have. That's the way I learned Call of Duty. I have learned Call of Duty when somebody is 2 feet behind me, 5 feet behind me, 10 feet behind me, I can hear them. And I'm caught off guard and I have to react now, which is not ideal, but at least I have a chance. And at that same time, he can hear me. You know, I'm running around, he can hear me 10 feet from him. You know, he can hear me run up behind him, and we both know each other's there. It's a level playing field, and I think that is not too much to ask for. I think that would give a lot of players like myself a reason to play this game, a new level of enjoyment, a new dynamic of the game, a balanced dynamic of the game. I am at a cost. The Pick 13 system is broken and stupid and it's unbalanced, and for me to put a whole point on sound whoring is completely fair, and to ask you to sometimes occasionally put on mute is really just fine. It's completely balanced. It gives purpose to mute in this game. Mute is pointless in this game as it is right now. You know, having that perk in there to allow me to hear footsteps would completely change this game for the better. If Sledgehammer is smart, if they have a head on their shoulders outside of their butt, then they will include something like this in their game. And if not, I'm probably not gonna play this game. As it is right now, I'm not going to get any weapon gold. I'm not gonna get any weapon diamond, I should say, because it's just such a terrible game, and this would greatly improve that. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope you guys agree with me. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. I want to know how you guys feel about this, how you rebuttal against my arguments specifically, because I feel they're valid arguments. I feel they're fine. Of course, I have just this one perspective. Let me know your guys' perspective. And until the next absolutely beautiful Call of Duty morning, I'll catch up with you guys later. And as always, have a great day.